Good evening. This is Raman Bilimangka, a student of uh, AMA University online. So now, after 3 months of working on my project for IT 301, I'm here to present to you the final result. Although this is not final, this is also only partial. This is the final report that I'm going to make for this project. Okay, so this is the final presentation, word presentation for my project. As you can see, I've explained to here. The approved project for me is the creation or development of a cross-platform application for change order management in construction projects. So, as a civil engineer, I've worked as a contracts engineer, cost engineer for more than 20 years in the construction industry. So, I have created this project, so that to help on change order management. Okay? Change order management, change order. I have to define it. It is uh, here in project management, a change order is a component of the change management process whereby changes the scope of work agreed by the owner, contractor, architect, engineer are implemented. So uh, this is the report that I made, the final sort of an essay or explanation of what my project is. So this Word document, I will, I will submit in the website of AmaU Online. So I need not explain this. So you may read this and understand what my project is. The purpose of this presentation is, of course, to present to you the final project. So here, uh, is actually the project presentation and demo and testing. Presentation video for this can be found. I haven't had the link yet because I'm still making this video. So this is to present to you with this final project. This is actually the final uh, uh, user interface. So as you can see, this is more like an Excel. And after this brief introduction, I will explain to you in detail how this program works. Okay, so without much ado, I will shift to my next screen to give you the presentation of my project. As I told you, you may read all of this because I don't want to read it all. It's a brief description of my. I just want this to be a brief description of my project. And most of these actually are already submitted before and viewed before by my instructor, so I don't need to explain everything here. I just want to present uh, how the program works, how I made it, how I uh, uh, plan this to make this project. What I'm going to show you though is that which part of the project I'm going to present. There is let me get it first from my Outlook. There is email sent somewhere, I think 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. Uh, I'm looking at my other screen, trying to find out what where it is. It's from AMA. Mm, there is an email from AMA saying to us that we need to let me pause the video and continue after I found it. Okay, I'll just pause the video. I found it. This is the email. As you can see, if you can read it, because uh, I cannot zoom it. I don't know why. So it says that the final exam, if you are BSIT or BSCS or BSCPE, I don't know what are those. But anyway, if you are here, okay, the final exam should be 50% running. Okay, so 50% running. I don't know really what it means though, but I assume that 50% of the system is able to run. That's my assumption. Okay. Uh, so I assumed that that I assumed that uh, it is 50% of the whole system. As you can see, this whole system, 50% is up to uh, a little less here. Okay, because the change order approval subsystem is the biggest part of this system. As you can see from this data flow diagram, he has the biggest one. So this is, if you will zoom into this system, this green system here, change order approval, this is the uh, this is the system. I will explain this later while I am on my next video. I will explain this data flow diagram and how it works. Okay. For the meantime, uh, let me let me tell you of my plan, which one is to be implemented. So 50% means up to this. Now, this is more than 50% if you take this login and change order approvals. This is more than 50% because these are just small systems, these 3 and 4 here. But the bulk of the system is in this green change order approval subsystem. So this is, I will implement it fully. Plus, I was planning to to uh, to implement the user management, but this email again uh, forbids me to do it. See, it says login, user management, uh, other process are not required. So this is unfortunate because this system actually the purpose of this system is to control users. So without user management, the system is practically not useless, but it doesn't serve the purpose. But let's follow what the instructor said. So he said login and user management is not required. This is this is what he said. So let's follow him. Okay, now that we finish this, I will go to I will pause again and I'll explain the whole process here. Okay. And now I'm going to explain to you the data flow of the program that we are going to make. So this is a change order management system. The main purpose is to to control the change order process of a construction company on the project management and owner side. So as you can see, as I told you before, this is actually controlling the the users. So it's very unfortunate that we are forbidden to program the user management. So there are here we can see that we have six. Actually, there are more than six, but here in the context flow diagram, this is just a summary of the. These are the six users that are going to use our change order management system. So this is level zero diagram. You see, uh, we need two databases, users record and change order database. But of course, uh, we are not going to do this. I also use a login system, but I will not be using one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8 users at least. But I will only use two users. One is uh, the contractor, and all the rest are members of the company representatives. So that's the way I'm going to do it. So if you can see, this is the system that we are going to implement, the change order approval subsystem, uh, plus some of this, then that would constitute more than 50% of the needed project, needed system on the project. So we can assume this. This is level 2 of the data flow. So this is how it's going to be implemented. I'm sure if you can zoom this on your own computer, you will understand how this system works. So there are the change order is first. Uh, there's first a change notice or a change request that is going to be made, and that one will go into a bidding process, and the bidding process will result in the approval or rejection of the change order. Along the way, they can be rejected, it's controlled by these users, but uh, in the 2.3 here, the final process is this change order approval and rejection. So as you can see, all these processes contribute to the change order database, okay, which is in this data flow diagram is managed by the contracts engineer, as you can see here. But in the system that I'm going to show you later, it will only be managed by the combinations of all these company users and against this contractor representative user. So that is how uh, the process is going to be. So I will not explain this. I have worked on this for more than 3 months and some and I don't know. I started in September, so 2 months. So 2 months I have been doing this. So I'm actually uh, uh, sure that whoever is watching this has already looked at on my submission of of this data flow diagram. So I will not explain it very much. Okay. Now I'll explain to you what will be my presentation on my next presentation. Oops. So it will be the presentation will be uh, brief brief of this proposal document. So I've already explained to you about this proposal document. You can read it. And then these data flow diagrams, as well as the details of program development. So I will show you the how I developed this program, and then I will show you how I compiled it. Program development, I will just show you the uh, the this is actually made in C++, so I will show you how I did it. And installation, okay, installation, and uh, I will give you a complete testing of the implemented modules. So the implemented modules, as I told you, is these three plus sort of the login system. Okay, so I will pause this again. I will prepare for the next video. Thank you very much. The program development phase and the compilation phase of this presentation. So as you can see, this is the program. And let me just make it maximize it so you can see it. This is the program, and as you can see, these are all written in C++. I'm using the uh, Qt framework. So in my appendix A of my presentation, you can see there why I choose Qt as my framework. Okay, so these are, uh, I think, more than 2,000 or near to 2,000 lines of code. Um, so as you can see, I have my headers here and my uh, sources here. So I'll explain later where you can find the sources. And this is my main program, which is only very minimal. So this is why I like C++ because you can minimize your main program. The main program is not part of any class, so you can make this your main program very very short. The only thing that the main program does here is to call the main window which the main window class, and to run the login program that we are using. So uh, so uh, this is the main program. So as you can see, it's very short, and this is the main Windows program. This is actually the bulk of the project. This is doing all the heavy lifting of the program, and all the helper programs are here. So we are in a Mac. Uh, so as you can see, the beauty of Qt is that it can run on all major uh, operating system once you compile your program. So I want to compile this program, so I compile it. Okay, build it. Don't worry about this. These are only uh, okay. Where is it? Okay, here. So this is the program. So as you can see, I still have a login. So I will open the constructor. So uh, wait, let's run it again because we, I have so many screens that it runs on the TV actually. So now it is okay. I'll open company. So this is the program. So if I open a file, I'll open my database. I'll open this. So oh, it's locked. So let's find another one. Okay. So you see, this is the way I uh, I this is the way I minimize collision. File is opened by another user, it will be locked. So let's see another version of it in the downloads. I think I have one. There. Okay. So this is how the program works. I'll explain this later one by one. So, but as you can see, it is working fine in in uh, uh, in in a Mac. Let's close this. Let's see how it works in in Linux. So I have OpenSUSE Linux here. So I'll run it. Now it will complain somewhere, but I don't know if it will complain again because this is only a virtual machine just to show you that it runs in Linux. This is the reason I want to run it in use Qt is that it runs in all major operating system. Uh, if you compile it, you can compile it in all the system. My company, we have no control of what the users are using operating system, but it's good to know that they can use whatever operating system that they can. Okay, let's cancel this. Okay, so it's complaining again. But anyway, okay. So let's go to Qt. So let's open the project. Where is it? Where is it? Last session. Okay. So this is the same program as you can see. Okay, it can compile in. This is by the way, this is a pure C++ program. Actually, Qt you can use QML, XML, Haskell, and Python, but this one is uh, purely C++. I don't even use XML here. XML is used in in Qt um, to create user interfaces, but I made the user interfaces purely as C++ code. So let's run this. So the same thing as we see. So you see it compiles in in C++ in Linux. Okay. So let's run the company module. Let's open. Let's go to other location, computer. The mount. Where are you mount? Where is the mount folder? Oh, I don't have the mount folder. There. Okay, mount folder. Actually, lab exercises, final exam, submittal. Oops. Program. So, final version. You see the data, and let's open this. Oh, you say it's locked. So anyway, let's again see other versions. I don't know why it is locked, but anyway, mount, UGFS, lab exercises, final exam, program, final version. Oh, let me unlock that. It's open in another. I'll pause this person. But I don't know why it's locked, so I'll pause this. Unlock it. It's actually open in Windows 7. So okay, this is the. Uh, you see the extension of our project files is QCO. So I made that to distinguish from other files. This is actually compressed XML database. So I want to explain what an XML database. You have Google to explain me that. So once I open it, this is the way. So as you can see, it compiles and runs on a Windows on a Linux machine. That's it. Let's close it and let's close this. Let's close this and I'll show you. Okay. Let's shut down our. Uh, let's shut down our Linux OS. Go off. So let's go here and I'll explain it to you how to compile it. Okay. As you can see, to compile it, why is this very slow? I'm running two operating systems at the same time. My computer is getting very slow. Aside from this video recording, I'm using two operating systems. So forgive me if the computer is slow. Okay. If uh, as you can see, it compiles because I have Qt on both my Linux machine and my host Mac machine, so it compiles. But if you don't have Qt, I recommend you to have Qt to compile it. But if you don't have Qt, you can download in SourceForge. Okay, this is the link. In SourceForge, you can download the QMake program. The QMake program is the you can use this. This is uh, a terminal program, or in Windows it's an MS-DOS program, which can pre-compile your program. Let's open it again. Later you will see it. The the program. Okay, I'll show you here. Okay, this is the source, but later I will show you again. Deployment. This is the source code. It will compile uh, uh, this source code. It will compile if it finds pre-compile. I mean, it puts, it will pre-compile the file that with the extension of PRO. Make it useful for the GNU compiler. The GNU compiler, GCC, is the one we will use uh, to compile it. So after QMake, you will use make as usual. This is the way to compile in GCC. I'm sure you know this because most of us are programmers anyway. But in Windows, you can download MinGW. Okay, MinGW, because there's no GCC in Windows. In Mac and Linux, GCC is already pre-installed when you install the operating system. But in Windows, you need to download MinGW from this site, mingw.org, and then install it. The utility that you will need is make. Of course, GCC should be there. Make is only the tool to compile it, but the program must be interpreted first by the GNU C compiler or C++ compiler. So you need QMake and make, and you also need Perl because some modules of Qt needs Perl scripting. Again, in Mac and Linux, Perl is already pre-installed. Um, uh, but in Windows, you need to uh, have a separate installation of Perl. I use Strawberry Perl in this website, strawberrypearl.com, and install that. Finally, this is optional actually, but we need it in this project because there is a part here to convert this database into Excel. So you can use the Qt library in this website and install it to be able um, to uh, run this program also. Okay, so that is how you compile. Now, if all those that I said is not very clear, don't worry because I have made a pre-compiled version for Windows. So as you can see, this is the QC 86 setup.exe. Okay, this one will run on Windows and install the QCO program in in uh, uh, in Windows. So I will explain that uh, how to use that later with when I deploy it in Windows 7, and then it will also run in Windows 10. So for those who think that Windows 7 is obsolete, I will just use it to show you how to install this program, this setup program for Windows 10 and Windows 7. So I will pause the video and prepare for my next video. Hello, this is Raman again, and now I will show you how to install the program in Windows, in Windows 7, the final program. So I have here my Windows virtual machine, Windows 7 virtual machine. I'm just going to log in. So it takes time to, um, to log in. As usual, this is Windows, so it takes time. So, okay, I hope this is okay now. Okay. Now we'll again. So to install it, uh, actually, I'll show you first where to download it. Okay. Okay. According to this, you can download the installer in where? Where are you? Okay. You can download in here. So I'll go here, copy. Installation program is in my Google Drive. So let's go back to here and let's run let's run this thing. Okay, as usual, Windows 7, too many programs running that are not given. Okay. I run Firefox, but it did not run. Okay, let's run IE. Nothing is happening. What is this program doing? Okay, I think I is running. You know what? It's not yet fully. Okay, what is this? Okay, this is actually, is it IE or okay? Let's very slow. Okay, so now it is running. Why is it this security things? I don't need it. Okay, I'll close one of it. This one. Now let's paste and go. Okay, so it will go to the. So it's very slow because we are running uh, two operating system plus this video recording, so it slows down. Oh, why is it not found? Okay, anyway, this is very slow, so we'll try to open this under under Mac. Okay, so should run in Mac. Where are you? Okay, sorry. So okay, now we are in Mac. Okay, now when you click this, it will take you to this location, Google Drive, and what you can do is just to click this and download it. So I don't need to download it because I already have it. So I'll just close Safari and go back to Windows and run the program. I'm just going to close Skype and this whatever this is. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to the directory where uh, I save it. For you, go to directory where you download it, and then go to the that directory. Uh, why am I using this? I can just open ah, quit VMware. Uh, okay, okay. Exam. Hold on. Ah no, it's in submittal actually. So it's in submittal. It's not there. It's in the submittal portion. Is the one? Yes, I did it yesterday. Yesterday is 27, I think. What date is today? What date is today? 28. So this is the one. I did it yesterday. So let's install it. Run it. Watch this. This is the QCO program. You cannot open it. Now this is usual thing. Let's wait for Avast to let the program run. If you abort it, it will not open. This is a very slow process in Windows 7. Sorry for the delay. Okay, let it run. Let it run. Let's it run. So, okay. So I run it. Yes. So next is a usual setup program. Okay. Install. It's just a small program, so it shouldn't be installing for long. So as I told you, watch this one. This 123.k0. Okay, I will not launch it. Launch it. Okay, finish. Okay, so as you can see, the changes are, firstly, we have this program now in our uh, in our desktop. Plus, as I told you, that is another. This 123 is now registered as a program that as a file that can be opened by this queue change order program. Let's try to open it. Okay, let's try first to open it. It's first time opening, so Abbas is checking again. Sorry for this inconvenience. This Windows is very strict on running programs that is not uh, okay, don't worry, but it will run later. So, okay, it lets it run. Of course, it will let us run. We don't make viruses. Let us run, but it did not run. That's the problem. And let's do it again. I don't know what happened. Let's do it again. There. Now, now we're talking. Now I think it opens two windows. No, only one. Okay. Now we will choose the contractor. This it runs to us. Okay, anyway, let's close one. Okay, let's use the contractor. Let's see if we use contractor. The contractor will not be allowed to uh, run this program. You see, it has this warning. It cannot run in contractor because the contractor, as we can see later, is fixed to run only uh, one project, so it runs one project, so there's no need for it to. So let's open it again using company. Company can do anything except for change notice. I will explain later. Okay. Now it opens it. Okay. So it opens the project like this. Okay. Now, after installation, of course, it creates the program in the program file. So we have the queue change order management manager here. This is the program. You can see in the program directory. This is the program actually. You can also see the sources. Okay, this is the sources. The sources. This is the source code. So if you want to redeploy or modify or recompile, this is where you can find the uh, program. Actually, this is required by Qt to put the source. Otherwise, you cannot use Qt for free. You have to buy if you don't want to put your source on the directory. Finally, not finally, one more thing. Okay, in your document folder, during installation, it creates this QCO data, which is the default directory of the program. It 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 creates this sample document, which is the one we're going to work on to demonstrate, and this is the one also that is opened by default by the contractor user. Okay, so it is already registered. You have it in your start menu, and let's go to control panel. Finally, if you don't like to use it anymore, you can uninstall it using the normal installer in control panel. We are in Windows 7. So let's find the program. It is queue changeover. This is the one. So let's uninstall it. Of course, Avast will cry again. I don't know if Avast will cry again, but anyway. Why is it not running? It's running, but it's very slow. Yes. So now we are installing it. So now it's not. So you see it's registered, but when I install it, it will be removed. Okay. So now we don't have it in our system. So the next thing we will do is to demonstrate how the program runs, and that one I will do in Windows 10. Okay, I'll pause this video and prepare for the next. Thank you very much. So this is Raman again, and now I'm going to demonstrate to you how to use the program that we compiled a while ago. Actually, this is not a while ago, it was yesterday. So I'm continuing this video, and as I told you, we will make the demonstration in Windows 10. So now we are in Windows 10, and as you can see, I've already installed it. So if you did not catch how to install this, I have please see the previous videos of how I installed this program. So this you see a change order uh, manager, which is a project program. So as you can see, when you open it, you are given an option to log in as a company or a contractor. Okay. As I told you before, as I told you before, let's see this. Okay. There is one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8 types of users. But since we are told not to implement the login system, uh, although this is a user control program, we are not going to uh, implement all the users, but we are going to use company and contractor only. The contractor being the one who would initially give a notice of the change order, and the company is the one who's giving the approval. So let's first, the contractor doesn't have much, uh, um, doesn't have much, uh, what do you call it, much power in this program. So we're going to use company so that all the features, not all, but almost all of the features will be available. Some of the features like requesting and all this crap will not be available for company. That is contractors role. Okay, so let's open in the company. As I told you, uh, the company uh, has 2 ways. I don't know if I've told you, I forgot about it yesterday. He has 2 ways of opening file. One is uh, using uh, the this open program, and the other one is just to click. I'll give you an example. Just click the file and open it directly. So the company has the way to do that. So let's continue. Uh, let's go and open the file. We will open the file sample project. Okay. So as you can see, this is the new one. The uh, so as you can see, when I open the file, uh, all these actions in the toolbar come to life. So we have here register. I'll explain it. Okay. So first, let us see our user interface. Our user interface composed of this table on the left and these tabs on the right. Okay. So this table on the left shows the change orders. Okay, that is already part of the project. Okay. Um, and uh, and the tabs on the right shows these are read-only tabs. You cannot change it. Say shows you the properties or the contents of these change orders. So when you click one change order, okay, when you click one change order, uh, automatically this is the change notice, this is the change request, and this is the change order itself. So when we click on this, these tabs, the values on these tabs changes. Okay, I will not be explaining to you what change notice, change request, and change order. You can find it on the uh, uh, project. Project document, this proposal that I made. So I can find all the definitions here. Where is it? It's probably on the top. So let's go to the table. of contents, definition of terms. So let's go to that. These are the definition of terms. Okay? So you can check that out if you want to know what this means. There's also this, if you will look at the change order, there is this change notice, change CR number, which is the change request number and the CR number, and the title of the change order. Okay? As you can see, these are all Latin words, lorem ipsum dolor, which is usual practice files that we can download in the internet. I just use it so we can populate this table. So those are the, and we have here the date of approval. As you can see, some of them are disapproved or rejected, so there's no date of approval. And those that are approved are here. Okay. Then the amount that are uh, approved is here. The status is the type or the status of contains the type or the status of it. So some are disapproved, the change order, some are zero valid, meaning it doesn't affect the value of the contract, but it is a change anyway. TBN is to be notified, which is or to be negotiated. You can find all these definitions here. It means that we agree to it, but there's no value yet, and we will agree to it later on. Deducted means negative change order, so it's deduction to the contract, and of course, additive is addition to the contract. We have here new, meaning there is no approval yet, so this is new. Okay, actually, this one they already have a change request, but do not have a change. Okay. Farther to the right, you can see that in each tabs I have these attachments. I haven't implemented this yet, but in later on in production when this is implemented already, this will contain. It will open a file manager type of dialog that contains the references or whatever hard documents that are included in each of these change orders. So this is the user interface. Now let's go to the menu. So the menu consists of user login. By the way, everything in the menu can also be found. So you have user login here. Can also be found in the toolbar. Okay, and the toolbar consists of commands that are normally used often, and that we need to click it. We need to uh, use it most of the time, so it is in the toolbar. We also have here the uh, the uh, the taskbar, which of course contains the project number, the project name, and the project manager. You can see that you cannot find the project information here, but you can click this and you will find the project information. Okay, so this is the project ID is EPC 999 Novo, etc. And right now there is already 61. Let's see it. There's already 61. Okay, entries. So let's go back to there. And then this is the total amount of the change order. Okay. So now let us go to the menus. The first menu is the file menu. Okay, and it says here uh, user login and logout. Of course, this is not yet implemented. Sorry about that. As I told you, the one that will be implemented is where is that? Where is that? is from here to here. These three, can you zoom it? Zoom 200. Okay, so from here to here. Okay, I've already submitted all these data flow diagrams, so you can check out my submittal before. So this is what we are going to implement and part of this. Okay, that is 50% the required. Now, okay, let's go back. So next is uh, open project. So this one opens the project. Uh, so now since it is saved, I'll check later save, so we can open it again. Yes, open it again. Then we also have save project. So save project, yeah, it saves the project. Whenever there's a change, I'll explain that later. Save project as we change the name of the project, so it will change this to new project 2. Okay. So now, as you can see here in the title bar of this program, it is sample project. We save it another file, it becomes data new project. So this saving and opening of projects cannot be done by the contractor. It is uh, uh, the role that is exclusive uh, for for the company user. Okay, let's open our project again. So our sample project. Okay. Now, um, if you're worried about when it opens, it it closes the file. That is by design because uh, number one, you cannot in the design of the software you cannot use two projects at the same time, only one at a time, and then it is also uh, if it is already saved, you don't have you don't it doesn't have to ask for it to close. So uh, it just close itself if it is saved. If it is unsaved, you will see some here bottom a red saying unsaved. We'll come to that later. Okay. And then we have new. We have new project. So if we want to create a new project, we have it here. And we have new change notice, which we cannot do as a company. It's for the contractor to do. Change request, we can do it, okay. And change settlement request, which can be done by the contractor. And the bid, okay. The bid we cannot make a contractor proposal, but we can do a company estimate. Because there's a new one, we can submit our new estimate there. And then next is new user. This one is not yet implemented, so as I told you before. And then we have export to Excel. Now this Windows 10 do not have any Excel, so even if I save it as an Excel, it will not be saved. So it will not be open. We cannot open it. So, but let's try it. Let's save it on the on our Macintosh in the download section, and let's call it. Oops. Uh, let's call it with a new name. Okay, and let's open it under Excel. So let's export this file. Export to Excel. So let's go to the shared folders in this one, no, not this one. So it downloads. So let's save it as uh, just save.xls. So okay, so it's now there. Okay, now as you can see, we have here the Excel file. So this is exported into Excel. This is useful because we haven't uh, implemented the report. So now, as you can see, it is exported in Excel. All the information that we have there is exported to Excel. So this is useful because we haven't implemented the reports, and the user can at least uh, get the data and uh, create his own report in Excel, for example. Okay, so let's close this. So let's go back. So that is saving, exporting. So this is just to close the project. We close it, close, and the last one is Excel. Okay, so let's open it again, and let's open again the sample project. Okay. Now, so we have the edit menu. Okay, edit project information. As I told you before, there we have the project information here. But as a privilege of the company user, he can edit the project information. So the contractor cannot do this. Uh, uh, only the company user. So of course, if we for example, instead of EPC 999, we put it as EPC 100. So, and instead of Nova Ordo Secularum project, we just Nova project. Okay. So, and Mario Fuso. So, okay. So let's say this is contract number 2, this window, and etc. Okay. Update. Yes. So as you can see, it is changed here, but it also says that it is unsaved, so we can just save it. As I told you, everything here is also in the. So this is the save the project. Okay, so if we save it, unsave is done, and then that's it. We change the. Now we have edit change notice. Okay, this is a privilege by the uh, by the contractor. In this edit change order is the company if he wants to edit this change request. But right now we cannot edit anything because we already have the change request. So once we have the change request, we cannot edit anymore. Okay? We can actually because if we put it here, we can change it actually. Edit change order, so we can change the change order because we haven't submitted the company estimate. Yes, before here new who is it? Company estimate. Okay, we can also find it here. Company estimate. Okay, now so for this one we have it. Okay, now reports, all of it are not implemented in the help. Or what else? These are not yet implemented. Manage bid is implemented, but we cannot show it yet because there's nothing here ready for bidding. The reports, as I told you, is not yet implemented, but of course we can export it to Excel, and the user can actually uh, work on the Excel file and make his own report. Help. Okay. Help, of course, the same. We have this project information. I explained that. And the about change order, about Q change order, just about this project. And then this is the about Qt. This is required by Qt. We cannot do anything about it. In order to use Qt for free, you have to acknowledge them. Now, a detailed help is not yet implemented. So that's it. So now we can I can demonstrate to you the whole process. Okay. So we're through with the menus and the toolbars and the other user interface elements. So now we can let's start with the contractor because he's the one who normally starts this. Normally, okay. So let's open the contractor. Okay. So he also opens the project. So one contractor can only open one project. Okay. So the first thing he can do is to create a change notice. Let's create a new change notice. Okay, with this date. New change new change notice two. There's already change order. New change order two. Okay, whatever we write. This is just an example. So originator, Elon Musk. Okay, then whatever here, whatever here, whatever here. If we did not, of course, as told you, attachment, he should be attaching something that we haven't implemented. Now, if he did not able, uh, of course, cancels everything. We want to do that. Okay, so it cancels everything. We have to do it again. Okay, new change order. Okay, so if we leave anything blank, it will complain. So you cannot do anything. You have to fill everything. The contractor have to fill everything. So except, of course, the date cannot be changed. It's defaulting to this date. That's good. That's a control. And the change notice is number is picked by the system. So let's have Matthew Brother. Okay, then we can say anything here, just to fill it. Estimated value, let's say it's $100,000. Okay, as you can see, the limit here is from negative 1 million to 1 million. In our company, if it is, I think, but I don't exactly know now, if it is beyond this limit, it should be an amendment and cannot be a change order. So 10,000 and 23 days. Okay. Now we submit. Submit. So it is unsafe, but as you can see, it's already there. So let's make another one. New change order 3. Okay. So lemon juice. Okay. So whatever. Originator is the one who originated first. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Dollars. This is estimate. It will change later. Okay. Then 23 days. This one is has a limit. Cannot be more than 180 days. So it cannot be more than 6 months. So let's have 100 days. So, okay. So now we have a new one again. Okay, with 100 days. No change order yet, and no change request yet. So let's close it, and let's go to. Let's have another one. So maybe we will need more examples later on when we begin uh, to okay. So let's have new change order 4. Okay. I want to origination Joshua Michaels. Okay. Whatever the spelling of Michael, I don't know. Let's have this as 450,000, okay, with 30 days, okay. So let's submit. As you can see, if it is not yet, if there's no change request yet created by the company, uh, the 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 contractor can withdraw it. If there's already a change request, he cannot withdraw it. So here there's already a change request, so he cannot withdraw it. He can withdraw this. For example, he withdraw this, withdraw it. So as you can see, it changed to withdrawn, and uh, the process ends there. Okay, the contractor can, the company cannot make a change request there, and the process ends there. It's a withdrawn change order. Now, we can also edit it as long as he hasn't uh, done anything yet, edit. So, let's say that it is not this value, but negative 245,000. Okay? Negative. So now it's a negative change order. Let's see later. Okay? Okay, you can see, although the value is here already, you can see it's 0 because this is the approval, not the actual value. Okay, let's add one more. New change order 5. Clyde Phillips. Okay. Now let's have it 0. Okay, let's have it 0. It doesn't affect the value, and but it affects the number of days, 120 days. Okay, this is according to, of course, according to the contractor. Okay, so let's close this, and let's create a change request for this. Okay. Yes. As you can, let's cancel first. I want to show you something. Okay, this one is when the contractor creates a proposal. It is active, shouldn't be active, but it's active because there's one change order that we can change. There's already a change order request. So if there's a change order, he can make a the contractor can make a proposal. So the other new ones don't have it because no change request has been created by the company. So let's close this and let's save it. And now let's open in company. Open the file and let's make it. So all the one that created by the contractor is now saved on this file. Now, okay, so this is withdrawn. You cannot do anything. Uh, let's create a change request for this one. Okay. Okay. If we open change request, it will select all those items that can be made. So as you can see, 52 is not here. 51 is also not here because we already have a change request. 52 is not here because he withdrew it. So we have 53, 54, and 55. So let's make for 53. So the originator will change. Tel Aviv, okay, and duration, if I agree 100, I will say 95 is my agreement, okay. With date, let's select, okay, select, let's select the date because we're going to, so release, okay. So we release that. Which one is that? So automatically it has a CR number. So let's go to the CR. Okay. So I cannot withdraw it because I'm not the one who created it. It's created by the. Okay. So now let us approve this also. Ah, that's it's effectively approving the change notice when we create a. Okay. So 54, 55. Okay. So 55. Let's cancel. What is 55? 55 is this. That's the zero. Oh, second. So let's let's disapprove. Okay. Let's reject. So here we can reject the change notice. To reject it, it's disapproved. End of the line. We cannot do anything anymore. So it's disapproved. So when the contractor sees this, he will, of course, meet with the company. Why are you disapproving this? And if we want to do it again, we can do it again. But at this time, I disapprove it. Okay. Now let's approve this one. Okay. Uh, this one, so 55. So let's say that let's agree on everything. Okay. This. Now we have a change request. Okay. Now, so it's on save. We will save it. Save. Okay. Now we have saved it, and let's make a new change order. No more choices. I can only make a new one because uh, there's no new change order 6. Okay, new change uh, minimum. Okay, so, so duration in days. Let's say 100 days. Okay, release. So now we have a new one, but there's no change notice. That's okay. We can make our own change request without having a new. It's a new. Let's create a new one. New. New change order 7. Okay. Generation is Maria uh, Maria Clemens. Okay. So it's Maria Clemens. Created this. So number of days is so 20. Yes. Okay. Now let's make another one. Okay. Just so that we have a lot of example when we do the so new change cover 8. Stephen McIntosh. McDonald. I don't know how to spell Macintosh, so let's say McDonald. And 50 days. Okay, release. Now, okay, let's go back to contractor. Actually, I cannot open it in if I try to make a new one. Okay, and open it in contractor, it will not be cannot open it because I'm still using it here. So let's close this. Yes. So I can only use it with one user. Okay. That is my protection against uh, collision. So Let's open it again with the contractor. So let's have it. So all the new ones are here. Okay. Now what I want is to create an offer here. Okay. So I can create an offer to a new bid submittal contractor proposal. Okay. But I can also use this contractor proposal. Let's say I want to have a contractor proposal for CR61. Okay. So I want to put, how much did I put? 61, 234,000. So 61, I will create, instead of 234, I am now offering 220,000. Okay, submit. Now, as you can see, I cannot do it anymore because this, if we can, okay, cancel first. The change, the bid date that I put there is 25th and 2017. So you cannot bid anymore because it's already overdue. The bid is overdue. But as you can see, let's do it again. 220,000. It says that I can talk to the company to change the bid date. Actually, let's change the bid date. Okay. Let's see if I can change the bid date in the company. I don't know. Maybe I cannot change it anymore because. Okay. That is this one. Can I still change the bid date? Yes, I can. No, I cannot change anymore. No, I can edit it. Edit. Yeah, I can edit to change it first. So let's change the bid date to today. Okay. So do this. Now the bid date change. So he can make a. So contractor can now bid on that. Okay. So he can now bid on 61. So now let's have 220,000. So the bid date is okay now, so you can submit it. So there's a bid. Okay. Don't worry, we can still see that. This one we cannot do anything. Let's have 62. Let's have 62. So let's bid on that. So say let's have say it's negative 245. So let's say I changed my mind. I put it at negative 250, 153. Okay. So uh, this one 0. Okay. Yep. This one. This one, it's 0 here because we don't have a change note. It's created as a change request. So here, okay. So let's say that I bid there for 200,000. 200,000? No, it's only 20,000. So 223. Okay. So here, uh, uh, let's bid at 20, 23. Okay. Submit. And then here we bid at 45. Okay. Okay. So let's close it. And let's go to company again. Yes, company. Company. Okay. So now he has all the bits. So now I can 61. Do you remember? I can't remember anything anyway. Just a test. So I think he did set 220. I am going to do for 200. Basically, this one he did for negative 250, I think. So now I will bid for negative 200. Here I can activate. No, this is 0. Okay. So, and this one is remember. So let's say 100,000. So yep. And here is say 45,000. So yep. And here I bid. I'm a company, but I'm bidding because this is not a competitive bid anymore. We already have a contractor. This is the reason why we're creating this system because we cannot make any competition anymore because contractor was selected during the start of the project. So now it's complete. Okay. So let's save it. Now for the first one, we can now see it's open now. We can make manage view. Okay. So the CP amount is 220 and our C amount is 200, but we are offering 180 only. This is I don't know the formula now, but I uh, I I make this such a way that it will be less than the CE amount what we are offering the contractor. So let's say that is very low. Let's offer 190,000. Okay, so 190,000 and send the offer. Okay, send the offer. Okay, send him the offer. So now the offer is sent. Okay, so you see it's changed the price offer. This one, okay, let's have this one. What is this? 62. 62. Okay. You notice it's still there because the bid is not yet finished, so we can have 62 here. So here, this is 250, ours is 250. I'm offering 250 also because I did the lower one. So let's approve this, okay? Let's just approve it. Okay. This is not approved and this is actually deducted. What are we doing? 62, okay? 62. 62. 62 is supposed to be negative. Ah, he hasn't, that's why when we click approve, it becomes TBM because he, contractor has not yet agreed or rejected our offer. So we're going to offer him because the change he wants is already very low, so we can uh, send the offer to him. He cannot, yeah, the contractor must agree or reject our offer. So before we can approve. So this if we check this, it will actually go to PBM. So I'll explain that later. Okay, so send offer. And this is number what? Number 63. Okay, 63. Number 63, it's 0. So let's just send the offer at 0. Okay. The process must be completed. Okay. So new, this one, suppose this one will disapprove, we reject, okay? No, we must first give him an offer, okay? So we give him an offer of 90, okay? So send offer. We must complete the bid first. We cannot jump all at once. So the negative 250, okay, send offer, okay? And this one, 60, oops, uh, 65, yeah. 65, 20, okay, send offer. And then here is negative 250, and this is 66. Okay, let's say that we offer what we estimate. For him, what we estimate, okay? So now all the prices are offered. So we can go to um, we can go to the contractor and let the contractor approve or disapprove our offers. Okay, yes. So let's go again to the contractor. All these are just showing you that as far as the 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 50% deployment is concerned, it works very fine. Okay, so now we can go to bid management. As you can see, uh, um, the contractor cannot see our estimate. He can also see his own proposal and our offer. So let's agree, okay? Response to offer. Okay? So let's respond that we are agreeing, okay? On that. Next, so we already agree on that, so we cannot change it anymore. Next is 63. There's a bug. Okay? Supposed to be not happening like this. Supposed to be I can do this, but anyway it does it. So it agrees on everything. This is a bug. But I will later on in production I will change that. Supposed to be not doing this. Supposed to be item. What if I save it? Okay, if I save it, still the same thing. I'm doing on everything. We should have that. Okay, anyway, so suppose that he agrees on everything. Okay, that's a bug. I don't want to repeat it anymore. Um, of course, this is an alpha version. There should be bugs. So now let's go back to the bid. This one we can approve. Release. Now it's approved. It's a deducted one. Okay. Okay. Now let's go to the second one. The reason is we disapprove it actually. So he agreed. Let's approve. Release. So it's approved. Okay. So let's go to the next one. There's so many bugs. I should repeat this. But anyway, okay. 65. Let's approve it. Approve. release. Okay, why did we not do this? And for price offered here, the last one, let's disapprove it. Disapprove. So now the process ended, and as you can see, it already has the change order. So this is the demonstration of it. As you can see, I have so many bugs. This should be not new, not new. This is number 63. Shouldn't be not new, okay? Shouldn't be not new, but uh, oh, he agreed, so we cannot disapprove it. So let's approve it, okay? So it's a zero value with this. That's the reason why the bug came up. Okay, anyway. So 64, what happened to 64? 64 is, let's disapprove, right? Disapprove. I don't know, there's a bug here. Shouldn't be new. Why is it new? Okay, 63 shouldn't be new. Approve it. Let's say TVN. Release. Okay, now it's coming. There's some bug, but at least we demonstrate that it's working now, and we can fix the bugs on the next release. So this is it. So as I told you, reports are not yet implemented, and the change settlement is not yet implemented. So that's it. So thank you very much. I hope to get a favorable grade, although you've seen some bugs, but this is the project that I want to implement to control the change order, which are very critical in a project. Thank you very much, and God bless.